Okay, this is the last episode of Walking Dead, and my face looks awful. I just realised that. Sorry about that. Um, right, that's a lot happens. Okay, a lot does happen, and so I think it's best if we just get to it. Okay, it's quite weird the beginning. Okay, so it's like a flashback to when Herschel was still alive, and it's obviously before the virus, the flu virus at the beginning of the series happened, because Glenn is like alive and kicking, literally. And it cuts to Rick outside a car with his hands all bloody, which is like a in the future sort of thing. And then it cuts to present time after the intro, um, and then Rick teaches Carl to hunt, which is all good, You need to know that. And then they hear screams, and then and it's a guy getting eaten. It's a really gruesome death. I even wrote that as a gruesome death. Gets his eye ripped out. It's like, yeah. And then it flashes back to Herschel. Yeah. Not much really happens. And then it flashes back to the three of them running from walkers, and then they're like camping out. A lot happens, and but then out of nowhere Joe comes out and holds a gun to Rick's head and Michonne's head. There's a guy outside the car that Carl's sleeping in, about to kill. They're counting down from 10 to shoot them, and then Dale comes out on 8, and then tries to stop him. But then Joe's group beats up Dale, and they're like, these guys are weird. It's like, and then and probably out of nowhere, this is amazing, by the way. Joe sort of bear hugs Rick, and then Rick just bites Joe's neck, rips it off, Rambo style almost. Yeah. And sorry, and there's a really intense fight scene, and then all the bad guys get killed. You're like, yay. And then it cuts back to Herschel. It's very weird, isn't it? To like, and flashing back to him making the farm. Yeah, tries to convince Rick to be a farmer, like at the start of the series. Then it goes back to Rick from the beginning one, where it was like he was outside the car. They find Terminus, then they decide to split up and to see if it's legit safe. Michonne tells Carl about the chain zombies. At the start of series 3 and end of series 2, I guess. She's got those 2 zombies with arms and jaw, and they were for her brother and no, her boyfriend and her brother, his brother, I think. Pardon me. Then they go into Terminus. It's all nice and cozy, and they meet Gareth, yeah, for the first time, which is interesting. So he's obviously the leader. And then Gareth and someone else searches them. It's legit and everything. Then Rick finds something suspicious. Like one of them has Herschel's watch that Herschel gave to Glenn. So he was like, "Where'd you get that from?" And then you take a person hostage. That's common really when talking to people. Isn't it? Okay. Flashback to prison. Rick asks Carl to farm. This is that subplot is like I don't know. It's just I think to break away from the action, which is kind of annoying. But then there's a really intense scene again where they're running and they're deliberately missing, which is quite weird when you think about it. Because I think they cook people, meat eaters, hey, you know. Um, anyway, and they're missing, and then like they sort of lead them into another trap. They get caught and are told to go to a carriage. But it's weird, like, because Carl's the last one to be asked, and there's a big gap between before they say he can go there, and it's you kind of think, what's going to happen? Kind of worried actually. If they go back to see Glenn's group, oh no, sorry, they go in, and it's Glenn's group, so they've meted, and it's like that. But Tyrese and Carol are nowhere to be seen, so hopefully they're not dead. But I reckon they're just behind. So I reckon we'll see them next series. Flashback to Herschel. This is like them just having a little laugh, saying life will never get better, and but then it flashes back to Rick, and this is probably the coolest thing. He says like they're going to feel pretty silly when they find out, and then I think Abraham, I think his name, the ginger dude from Glenn's group, he goes, when they find out what intense bit, that we are screwing with their own people. Do. Yeah, so, okay, overall review. I was a bit worried at first because I saw the runtime and I was like, wait, we are going to need like a longer than 40, normal 40 minutes because there's so much to cover. But they handled it pretty well actually, because I thought it was like all going to focus on Rick's group, and then near the end they'll face Joe, and there'll be this massive climax, and then they'll only just find Terminus, and then we have to wait till next series to see Terminus and what they do. But no, it was that the Joe bit was only for a little bit, and then they find Terminus, and it's quite a nice pace, which was good because I like nice paces. Then we get. I'm trying to think if I've missed anything else. Like, it's quite an emotional episode. It's not emotional. It's just like it is. I don't know. Rick's kind of like turned into a monster a little bit. They all are. I mean, you would kind of. But anyway, it was a very good episode. Good end of the series, in my opinion. I mean, you can't really top the mid-season finale, so yeah, that's it from me. Thank you for watching, and yeah, that's it. Let's wait till season 5. So yeah, bye.